Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Capital. Look for that top tier label. All right, I got a DTE gift card for turning in a fridge. They still offer that program, so $50 on the gift card. So I used $25 there for gas, and I'll probably do it again sometime soon. Hey, there was an Ecorse Creek Commission meeting, so I was checking that out. This was the agenda. They have these meetings monthly, and who knows, I might even become a member, a board member, because I'd like to see something get done with the Ecorse Creek. Wowie kazowie, here's Dearborn's Peace Park. There must have been a function at the junction, a photo op, but this was on a Thursday, and as the weather warms up, this park will do quite well. There's a few people out there frolicking around. They have the plaza there to the left. Yeah, it'll be a place for people to see and be seen. All right, we're close to the railroad tracks. Art is everywhere, even way down yonder. You see on the side of the building there? But yeah, these people have to live right next to the railroad tracks. Oh my Lord. That's a quality of life issue. All right, love the name, Imagine, of the design and build company. All right, Ecorse Creek. Going to check that out from an Allen Park perspective, kind of where Southfield and I-94 are and Outer Drive, that little triangle there. But I parked the Mayaverk and let's take a look. They cleared some brush out of here and some trees. We're going to take a look-see around, so don't touch that dial. This is going to go on for a few minutes. We'll get the lay of the land. That neighbor there knows all about the flooding here in Allen Park. Right at Southfield Expressway in Euclid. Those are your cross streets. And just south of Outer Drive, there's a nursery or kindergarten or daycare type place there. Don't dump here. It'll be costly. But we're going to take a look down here. The neighbor here used to feed the ducks. There used to be ducks all lined up. But that can get expensive. Anyways, there's like these two drainage, just like a drainage ditch kind of thing. These two tubular type things are not enough to handle when we have a nice rainfall. This is better. This goes under the Southfield Freeway. So, and then there's some auxiliary ones here, but there's no tubes or anything, but it comes from there and heads downstream a little bit to these two tubes. And one of them's usually clogged up with logs. We'll take a peek. The one on the left has some debris caught there in the middle. The one on the right looks pretty clear. But they use those tubes for small drainage ditches, not like a thing. The solution is just to blow up this bridge, literally. Get a stick of dynamite, poof. There might be an easier way to do it, but they don't need this bridge really right here. Oh, see the debris under there? It gets clogged and it effectively becomes like a dam, just like the beavers do. That creates flooding. Yeah, just blow this up. Kapoosh. And then you'd have free flow through there. It wouldn't dam up. It would spill up onto the banks here. The neighbors in Allen Park know all too well about this. Okay, so here I'm showing the recent brush cutting, and these trees, I don't know if they have a mandate of 10 or 15 feet from the center of the creek, but not all the trees have come down, so I don't know who makes that decision. But it has changed the habitat and the wildlife in this area, because they have the gophers and the ground chucks, or woodchucks, the groundhogs. I'm not sure. They're all related. Even the beavers, they're kind of furry type things, bigger than a cat. But yeah, there's some recent cuts. So this was from Thursday, and they really started in Lincoln Park last summer, and they cut a lot of underbrush and trees. And now they're in Allen Park, and I'm not sure if they have plans for Dearborn Heights or not. But here, well, you can just take a look at their handiwork. But anything that has this one, yeah, it's coming down when it's got the pink ribbon. Well, I was talking to one of the neighbors here. I think that means it's coming down, but it might be it's being saved. It might be the opposite. So now I'm all confused. And but anything in danger of falling into and creating a dam should come down. And so I don't know why this tree here isn't down. The root structure becomes compromised when you have the flooding and it washes away the soil. Then the tree falls down into the creek and creates that dam effect. So there's a method to the madness of doing this clear cutting and all that. I know everyone gets their panties in a bunch. It changes the habitat of the wildlife, and sure does, but people that are concerned about their basements flooding also have a say in the matter. All right, there's a double drainage ditch there. You can blow that bridge up and either replace it, or, the neighbors decide where they want their crossings. But you want free flow through here, and this is just not cutting it. Not in this day and age. Back in the 40s or 50s when they put that in, it probably worked. But now that you have more surface streets dumping their water into the creek and blah, 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 it experiences a higher water volume. So, yeah, cut this stuff all out. And then we need water retention ponds. It works out at the airport. They have like 7 water retention ponds there for the airport. We just need to string that out downstream, so that when it does on a heavy rainfall, instead of it going right into your basements and stuff, at least you can retain some of it in these ponds, and then release it on the dry days, kind of things. Okay, first sale, there's 3 lots. That might be one lot there. The second lot might be the house, and then a third lot here. I'm not sure how that all goes, but this area always floods when it goes over. In fact, they're doing some work on this sewer line. But talk to the neighbor here just to the left. He'll tell you all the times he's got, oh, here's some ducks. Yeah, he'll give you the lowdown. What you need to go is right to the people that live in the hood. There's some young ducklings. I don't know if you can count them real quick. The neighbor had said 10. There might be more than 10. Can't count that high or that fast. Getting old. All right, now we're going to get to the meat of the program. That was just a warm-up type thing. 10-minute warm-up. But no, I'm going to go downtown. Yes, indeedy. This is free day. Yes, I want it to be free, but free is an operative word that just catches my attention all the time. And why pay good money if it can be free? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm all over that. DET.com is the website you want to check out. If you want to complain to your energy company, call DTE Energy. I got a bone to pick with them with the electric bill. I thought that hot energy usage in the summertime for your air conditioning and all that, that was just for the summer months. The peak demand where you have to pay more between the hours of 3 and 7 p.m., I believe it is. But I checked my energy bill, the last one, and no, they have that peak energy thing through the cooler months. All year round they have it. Why is there peak energy demand for electricity, in the cooler months? Really? That's when you should charge extra for gas because there's more demand for gas. Oh, but I shouldn't give them that idea. They're going to start doing that now. Damn it. Scratch that from your mind. They have an urban garden type thing, so some of the plots, I've already done mine up, and my mom. And so she's got the Allegria Village garden plot. I have just some tomatoes and whatnot in the backyard, but some people grow herbs and spices, so locally, and the restaurants use it. Flowers, it's a nice touch. They've done more of that in recent years, so that's a good thing. Here we're getting welcome to Detroit. We're getting closer. I had a little walking, but I parked in the MGM garage, and I love that because it's free. Free! It's what I'm shooting for today. It's just like a freebie day. If you're interested in being a police officer, there's a website there. All right, there's the entrance into the middle of the track, but they pointed this out to me. Video recording devices, yeah, that's not allowed. Oh, my Lord. You've got to be kidding me. Well, so where there's a will, there's a way, right? Isn't that what they say? I'm on a mission. Let's listen in here and look at the nice flowers. Well, here's where some normal racing happens each and every day, but this should be Paradise Valley. They're going to tear it, well, they're going to, MDOT has plans to take away the expressway and just fill it up with land and make it a green space. Keep the valley. Keep that nice little indentation so figuratively and literally and physically it can be the Paradise Valley. You don't have to fill it in with dirt. And they have no plans, urban planning plans for the future. They need help. All right, here's a nice turn, but I got here a little bit too late. But check this building out here, beautiful. So they're doing some work on it. Attention to detail, for sure. And you see the name there right above the doorway. This stuff has stood the test of time. All right, the Monahan Company. So yeah, this is, I think it's turn 2. If I'm not mistaken. There's the phone number to call. And there's the heavy duty cameras there. Yeah, this is turn number 2. So, East Jefferson, one of the major spokes emanating from downtown. Ooh, there's a big election in August. The start of the primary season there for a new mayor for the city of Detroit, Mr. Monahan, or not Monahan, what am I thinking of? Mike Duggan, going for the governorship. Governor Whitmer is term limited, so this was an opportunity for Duggan to throw his hat into the ring, as they say. All right. Some homeless people hang out in these parts, but this is a busy weekend. One of the entrances here, and then grandstand 1 and 9 were available for the public to view on pre-day. And then the TV screens are awesome as far as showing the reaction and what's going on. All right, well, I made it to a parking garage. We'll check out the view from here. before. More of that bird's eye view. There's the luxury suites. They'll be packed on Sunday, the main race day, Sunday, June 1st. But yeah, that's the pit area through there. And they say it's unique in Detroit because they have pit lanes, well, a pit lane down the middle, but they have the pit crews on either side of the main drag through the center there. That's the great viewing vantage points up on those garages. So you get a good view of turn 9, the last turn of the course. Just practice time for them, but you see them entering the pits here now. I remember looking at that schedule properly. There was 2 different practice sessions, so Fago, I'll vouch for them, and visit Detroit for sure. Why not? Especially like a day like today. This is all a freebie. So you can sit in those stands for free. Stand grandstand 1 and 9, I think they call them. Yeah. Then if you have a hankering for food, hot dogs, there's sausage, French fries. They had all the major food groups all in one place there. There's your eye in the sky. And let's see. Got the time before. What's the temperature? 75? Alright, that looks like it was the official poster of the Detroit Grand Prix. Alright, so this might be the second session. Maybe it was like 15 minutes for each one. Oh, that used to be Canadian car. It still is, but they can't put that nice scrolling advertising. They should see if they can bring that back. Yeah, I was looking at those vantage points and I said, how do I get up there? So I'm en route to try to do that. Wish me well. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Alright. I made it to one of those 2 towers on the side of the Renaissance Center. And they had a little platform like on the 2nd level. So this was kind of neat to check it out from here. If you can't stop in time, Those tires will greet you. But yeah, this is turn 9 right there. But yeah, the idea was to make it to that parking deck and get up on the roof. The roof. All right. Information. So yeah, I wanted to get an actual map. So I got a fan guide. Instead, it had a mini map on the back. But if you really wanted to see it, you had to look at their map there. All right. The Gilbert Family Foundation wants the city and whatnot to pony up to take down 2 of the Renaissance towers so he can put up another project. Ain't that grand? Well, they always tell you, use other people's money. They even turn that into an acronym, OTP. Yeah. So if you can, more power to them. So the city council and whatnot will probably just roll over and say, Meanwhile, but I digress. But here inside the Renaissance Center, and they're going to move their world headquarters to the Hudson's block over there. Hey, I have a 67 Camaro, but way back in the day, I had a 69 Camaro. It had those fins in the back. That made it distinctive. They have these pods up here. It's not the best design. It was ballyhooed, this Renaissance Center and whatnot. But to me, it was a poor design. It was a concrete jungle. And yeah, you would easily get lost and turned around. And look, another concrete pillar. There's just concrete all over the place. So yeah, it was built like a fortress to wall it off from the rest of the city. And back then, yeah, mission accomplished. They did do that. This atrium is kind of nice, although I don't know about the faux palm trees. I mean, we don't have palm trees around here, so I don't know. The flowers are well done. They always add good color, make things appear livable, and like real plants, not those fake plants. Fake plants, don't even bother. Those escalators, you gotta be careful when you get near the bottom. Just saying. All right. But they wouldn't let you out in front of the Renaissance because the track actually buzzes right outside the doors here. So I had to turn around and head back out the same entrance basically that I came into. But here, Hot Wheels, I don't know how many of these they made. Chevrolet Performance, but yeah, I have a hankering for the early generation Camaros. Look at this nice glass, like it's kind of like a wall actually. It serves that purpose. There's a water tower. All right, so I'm gonna walk the narrow, see if I can still balance. As you get older, your balance is not as good, so I'm finding that out. All right, Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. In Windsor, they call it the Windsor-Detroit Tunnel. Oh, those bastards, how can they do that? We'll show them, right? We're going to make all of Canada our 51st state. We'll show them. Oh, that's just so ridiculous, the whole thing. Stop that nonsense, but I digress again. All right, so 77, so very pleasant day. They always have remembrance service here for like the Edmund Fitzgerald when it comes to that time of year. But look, an open house, I don't know, and this sign, oh, they should mass produce those. I would buy one of those. That's old school. All right, there was a breeze a-blowing. All right, so here was the event schedule. So at 5:04, they're going to qualify here for the WeatherTech. WeatherTech is an American-made product. Oh, somebody had an accident. They're pulling them off the scene there, out of the picture. But yeah, this is kind of fun that they brought it back to Detroit in the heart of the downtown area. Belle Isle was nice, but it was a little bit away from the thing. This thing, if I look at it closely, it's kind of twisted. Like twisted 90 degrees. All right, there's the Black Fist. Yes, Black Power. Right? Here you can take the curly Q thing. There's different stages. You go around and then you kind of end up there at number 8. Transcend. I think that felon thing might be a reference to Trump. But yeah, how did we let someone that had all those felony convictions and you too can become a president? Wowee kazowie, it's just unreal what's happening to our democracy. Look, if we had the big struggle, equality for women, yeah, that might be pushed. Every one of these things must be pulled back, right from, like a rug pulled out from beneath us, Trump is just going to pull that out. Oh, Lord, yeah, we don't need tariffs. That was ridiculous. Oh, but I digress again. Hey, well, back in the day, yeah, this was a good to-do. We need someone with that kind of charisma to lead our country, as opposed to the bozo we have in there now. Oh, gosh. All right, well, if you want a photo op, you can do that, which is kind of neat. And then Fago, the bubbly. So there was bubbles all over the place. And I think they had a game, but they might have had some free samples. All right, and then here's one of the rooftops. They said this one might have been new for this year, but they said there was 4 of them, and you could go to all 4 different rooftops for the one price. I think they said $95, and it allowed you to go to all of them, and they had entertainment and the like on top of those things. So that might have been worthy of a checkout. But that would probably be for Saturday and Sunday. On this free day, I'm not sure. Here you can see a couple of turns coming out of one and going into the next. I like this view. Turn 5 and going into turn 6. Uh-oh, there were some lovebirds. Yeah, the camera people were active. I'm gonna do some pyramid climbing here. Ooh, some more love. But yeah, the checkered flag, that's where black and white can be together and get along. No, but racing kind of seems to transcend that, everything. There is diversity within that kind of walking around and everybody's lily white and everything. It's a diverse type crowd, which is good, because you're going to find diversity wherever you go, no matter what. So you might as well get used to it. Here, I love the architecture there. It's kind of rough around the edges. All right, but the fountain is in action. And then I have to admit, I'm into the simplistic type thing. I love the architecture of the Hudson's Tower. It's rectangular and boxy and all that, but I like what they did there. 5 different levels, plus the glass looks awesome. At certain times, with just the cloudy days or sunny days, the glass looks, it pops. All right, I had to do this. This was a freebie too. All right, if I can hold this steady. It was some kind of tea. You can either have the ice variety or you can have like the coffee variety. And then you just got to stir it. And away you went. It might have been like a Red Bull. I don't know if it had any punch there with the caffeine or anything. All right, so I went over the bridge there, the pedestrian bridge, over the long straightaway. And here's the Golden family. And then it had been renamed, and it's the city-county building there. You can get around by bike if you so choose. Here's all your sponsors. There's quite a few of them. So certainly patronize all these businesses and say thank you for having the Detroit Grand Prix free day. And then I'm kind of like an unofficial sponsor, but I'm trying to promote it as best I can. Obviously, they would want people to come back and spend more money. I was doing the freebie route. Although I did have a drink here because I was tired and I was thirsty, and I decided to sit down. So I got the best view in all the land here. This is like table A, but you have to walk up the stairs. But you get a nice view up here. I decided I'd take a look at their menu while I was up here. I wasn't going to have dinner or nothing, but that was like the appetizers. These were like more of the main course type thing. In the future, I think I'd probably be eligible for like a trunk burger kind of thing, but and then you can be the QR code if you so desire. But yeah, you get a nice view up here, and I was just relaxing and chilling. It says grab an umbrella. Oh my Lord, yeah, there's a front coming through. That explains the clouds out there. All right, so Mize at 6-1 going against Lugo. So they're playing out in Kansas City. We'll take a look at the standings here. Detroit. Well, this is the wild card standings. We would be the number 1 seed. The Yankees are chasing us. There's the wild card teams. But yeah, all right, so I'm going to begin the descent here. And there's the Gnome. This is a fun little place. I like the lighting up there, the little entranceway. Yeah, look at this. 5 levels. It's like a victory stand like the Olympics, the top 3. I think there's 5 of them there. All right. Hey, this is a kick-ass female here. She means business. This is at the Sailor and Soldiers Monument. Yeah. Well, we need nice, strong women. All right. Well, look you got casual furniture here. You could chill. The Campus Marshes Park, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said they were number 1 this year for like 3 years in a row. But if I got that all twisted, it's at least they're in the top 3 for the last 3 years. They got a place over here. Yeah, they were playing music and a place to chill. And then this is where the ice skating rink would be in the wintertime. But in the summer, they have concerts and they have movies. I don't know what's with their eyes. Woodward Avenue, Main Street, Detroit. So I'm gonna head north here. There's the Q line, northwest actually, but and then the football, that's where Ford Field, and the baseball, that would be Comerica Park. Oh yeah, this is where the action is. All you have to really do is just hop in the car, drive downtown, do the free parking, and just walk around. And you can see and do stuff. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You really don't. I just paid for 1 drink so far. Born in Detroit, that's my claim to fame. Yeah, way back in 1960. Grace Hospital. You can check it out. Yep. Born in Detroit. Yeah, I'm going to wear that like a badge of honor. This is an interesting place here. And then for the black crowd, definitely And then close your eyes, hide the women and children. But yeah, this is as bad as it gets in the city. I shouldn't even be doing a close-up or anything. That's naughty. They should cover the ladies up. They really should. Just saying. No, I'm not saying it's cool. It's history. And like Isaiah said, he'd always say, look up. This is Times Square, Detroit. You've probably heard of it. All right, well, the castle. Love this building. And then, sexy is a state of mind. Well, don't you know? And yeah, they're selling sexy steaks over there. So, if that floats your boat, that's your ticket right there. And they have valet service. Look at this. They're building in Detroit. This is great news. And look, it says here, empowering the next generation. Yeah. Why not? We had the greatest generation a while back, but no, we'll build on that. The next generation's gonna be the greatest generation. We'll get these young whippersnappers. They'll figure it all out for us. All right, self-parking. That is synonymous with free parking. I am all over that. Yeah, why pay 20, 30, 40 on up for parking when it can be free? Just put on some good walking shoes. All right, so exit 202. Gonna head northbound Telegraph to the beautiful suburb of Dearborn Heights. Yes, indeed, home of the Ecorse Creek. All right, all I have to do is turn the lights on. Yeah, got a red light district going on in the kitchen. I made it in time to fire up the microwave. I love Detroit, for sure, for sure.